You know that feeling when you are watching a really good movie on your phone, or maybe a super tense cricket match?
Oh, yeah, you are totally into it. Your eyes are glued to the screen.
Exactly. You are completely focused, and then suddenly, without any warning, the video just stops.
Ugh, the worst. The screen freezes.
Right. And you get that little spinning circle right in the middle of your
The
screen.
buffering wheel. I hate that thing.
We all hate it. You were just sitting there waiting, completely powerless. You were waiting for the internet to catch up so the video can play again.
Yeah, it is super frustrating. The internet is just taking too much time to process the data.
I bring up that buffering wheel because, well, I want you, our listener, to imagine that exact same thing happening, but not on your phone, inside your own brain.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know exactly where you were going with this.
Right. Picture this. You are at an office meeting or maybe a family wedding. You are feeling good.
Wearing nice clothes, feeling confident.
Exactly. And then someone looks right at you and asks you a question in English.
And everyone is looking at you.
Yes. They lock eyes with you. They're waiting for your answer. And your brain just freezes.
It just shuts down. The spinning wheel appears in your head.
You know what you want to say in your native language, like Hindi?
Hmm.
But your brain turns into this crazy buffering translation machine.
You are searching for the English words, thinking about the grammar.
And while you do all that, the silence in the room is just getting longer and longer. Second by agonizing second.
It's so stressful. Your heart beats faster. You start sweating a little.
It really is stressful.
Yeah.
And it is so exhausting. This exact problem is why so many people study English for years, but still say, I cannot actually speak it.
Yeah. They know the rules, but they cannot speak in real life.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into an amazing piece of source material. It is called The Art of Thinking Directly in English.
And our main mission today is to completely break that internal buffering wheel.
Yes. We are going to figure out why we translate in our heads and, more importantly, how to stop doing it.
So you can finally speak English smoothly without stopping to think.
Right. Because the ultimate goal of learning a language is smooth communication. You want to talk to people easily.
But the biggest roadblock is not what most people think it is.
Right. I want to talk about that right away. Because when I talk to people who want to learn English, they always say the same thing. They say, oh, I just do not know enough words.
Yeah, they blame their vocabulary.
Yeah.
Every single time.
But our source material says that is completely wrong. The problem is not your vocabulary. The problem is the translation process running in the background of your brain.
I mean, almost everyone who learns a new language does this. They think in their native language first and then translate it.
But why? Why do we all do this if it causes so much stress?
Well, it is actually about safety. The brain always wants to feel safe.
Okay, let us unpack this. How does translating make the brain feel safe?
Think about it like this. When you are asked a question in English, your brain feels a little bit of danger. Not physical danger, but social danger.
Like, oh no, I might make a mistake and look foolish.
Exactly. So to protect you, your brain runs back to the safest place it knows, your mother tongue.
Ah, I see. Because I know Hindi perfectly. I feel completely safe there.
Right. So your brain builds the sentence in Hindi first to make sure the thought is smart and correct.
But wait, if going back to our native language is so safe, why does it completely ruin the conversation?
Because it takes way too much time. It is a slow process.
It is like taking a scenic winding back road when you actually need to be on the fast highway.
That is a great way to put it. The back road feels safe, you are driving slowly, there is no traffic.
But you will never reach your destination on time. You cannot keep up with the fast cars on the highway.
Exactly. And the real world, real conversation moves at highway speeds.
Let us break down the exact steps we take when we translate in our heads. The source material outlines this, and it is honestly crazy how much work our brains are doing.
It really is. Step one is just having the thought.
Right. And then step two, you build that thought in your native language.
Step three, you open your mental dictionary. You try to find a direct English word for every single word in your native sentence.
Which is so hard. And then step four, you try to fix the grammar.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, is it past tense? Do I use has or have?
And finally, step five, you actually open your mouth and speak.
5 steps. No wonder there is a lag. Every single step takes time and energy.
And you are trying to do all of this while looking at the other person. You are trying to predict what they are thinking too.
It is like having too many apps open on your phone at the same time. The phone gets hot, everything slows down, eventually it crashes.
That is exactly what happens. The source material calls this problem the fluency lag.
Fluency lag. I like that term. It perfectly describes that awkward silence.
What is really fascinating here is the paradox. We translate to avoid feeling embarrassed, right?
Yeah, we want to sound smart.
But the translation lag actually makes us feel more embarrassed than if we just spoke broken English right away.
Oh, wow. So our safety net is actually trapping us.
Exactly, because human conversations have a rhythm. We're used to fast replies.
Right. In a normal chat, people take turns talking instantly. There are no long pauses.
So when you stand there silently for 10 seconds thinking about grammar, you break that rhythm,
And you can feel it. You see the other person waiting. Maybe they check their phone.
which just makes you more nervous. Your stress levels go up, and when you are stressed, your brain actually blocks memories.
So you forget the English words you actually know.
Yes. The stress of the pause makes you forget the basic words. Your safety net literally stopped you from speaking.
There is this hilarious but really painful story in the source material about this. I have to share it.
Oh, please do. It is so relatable.
So a learner is in a group conversation. Someone asks them a question, and the learner spends like 20 full seconds building the perfect English answer in their head.
20 seconds is a really long time in a conversation.
It is an eternity. They are being a perfectionist. They change the verb tense. They find a fancier adjective. They make the sentence absolutely flawless.
A true masterpiece of English grammar.
Right. And then after 20 seconds of hard work, they finally open their mouth to deliver this amazing sentence.
And the conversation is completely moved on.
Yes. The group is already talking about a movie or something else. The window of opportunity just closed.
It is so sad, really. Because they had a good thought, they are smart enough to join the chat.
But because their processing software was too slow, they got left behind.
And that proves the core message of our source today. Fluent speakers do not have a faster mental dictionary.
Wait, really? They do not just translate faster?
No. They skip the translation part entirely. They go straight from the thought to the English words.
They bypass steps 2, 3, and 4.
Exactly. They think directly in English.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. If translating is a natural reflex to protect us from feeling dumb, how do we just stop doing it?
It is not easy, I will admit.
Right. If I touch a hot cup of chai, my hand pulls back automatically. I cannot just tell my brain, hey, stop pulling away from the heat.
That is a fair point. But the source gives us a very clear strategy. And it requires you to leave your ego at the door.
Oh, leaving the ego behind. That is tough for a lot of us.
It is, because to stop translating, you have to start with incredibly simple thoughts.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The book says we should stick to basic phrases like, I am hungry, it is hot today, I need some water.
Yes, aggressively simple concepts.
But, I mean, if I am an adult working in an office or at a nice dinner, I do not want to talk like a child.
Nobody does. In Hindi, you are a smart, funny adult.
Right. I want to say the humidity today is absolutely terrible, and I desperately need a cold drink.
But if you try to translate that huge, complex Hindi thought into English, your brain crashes. It is too much data.
So what do I do instead?
You have to lower the difficulty. You have to accept that for now, you will sound a bit simpler. You just say, it is very hot, I need water.
That feels like a step backward, though. Doesn't that make me sound less fluent?
Actually, no, and this is a huge takeaway from the text. Relying on simple, everyday words makes you sound much more fluent.
Okay, wait. How does using simple words make me sound more fluent? That sounds backward.
Because fluency is not about using big dictionary words. Fluency is about the speed and rhythm of your speech.
Oh, I see. So it is about the flow, not the big words.
Exactly. Imagine your brain energy is a pie. If you use 90% of your energy trying to remember advanced words and perfect grammar,
Then I only have 10% left to actually speak, so my voice becomes robotic and slow.
right. You pause, you stutter, you say, and a lot in a panicked way. It shows you are struggling.
Even if the words are perfect, the slow delivery makes me look bad,
But if you use simple words, you only use 20% of your brain energy to find them.
which leaves me with so much extra energy. I can focus on talking smoothly, looking people in the eye, smiling.
Yes, you sound relaxed, you answer quickly, and that makes you sound totally fluent to the other person.
That makes so much sense. Perfectionism is actually the enemy of fluency here.
It really is. The goal is communication, not perfection.
If I say, I need water, and you give me a glass of water, then my English was 100% successful.
Exactly. You transferred your message.
So we know simple thoughts are the building blocks,
Mm-hmm.
but how do we actually practice this? When I am alone at home, how do I teach my brain to think directly in English?
The source material has a great Highly practical exercise for this, and you can do it anywhere.
Is it the room description exercise?
Yes, you just look around your room or your office and describe everyday objects directly in English.
I just look at things and say, the chair is brown, my laptop is on the table, the window is open.
Out loud or even just in your head.
I will be honest, it feels a bit silly, like I am back in primary school.
It might feel silly, but it is incredibly powerful for your brain.
How so? If we connect this to the bigger picture, what is this actually doing?
Think about how you learned English words in school. You probably learned them by translating.
Yeah, we had lists. The Hindi word on one side, the English word on the other.
So in your brain, the English word chair is permanently glued to the Hindi word for chair.
To get to the English word, I have to go through Hindi first.
Exactly. This room exercise cuts that connection. When you look at the physical chair in your room and think the chair is brown.
I am connecting the English word directly to the real physical object.
Yes, you are bypassing the native language entirely. You are building a new direct road in your brain.
That is amazing. So I am basically doing a mental gym workout.
And it is a safe environment. Nobody is listening. Nobody is judging you if you say it slowly.
I can do it while making my morning chai. I can just think I am holding the cup. The chai is hot. I'm pouring the milk.
Doing that every single day builds that direct English muscle. It becomes a habit.
But the source also talks about passive immersion, right? Like listening to podcasts.
Yes. Listening is huge. The text emphasizes that hearing a lot of English helps train your brain to think naturally.
But I am just sitting there listening. How does that help me speak?
Because your brain is like a supercomputer finding patterns. When you listen to natural English conversations.
Like this deep dive, for example.
Exactly. When you listen, your brain learns the rhythm. It learns which words usually go together.
Ah, so it's like learning the melody of a song, not just the lyrics.
Yes. Your brain learns that it feels natural to say heavy rain instead of strong rain. You absorb the flow.
So when I try to speak later, my brain already knows what sounds right without having to check the grammar rules.
It makes the direct thinking process much smoother.
Okay, so practicing alone in my room is great. Listening to podcasts is great. But let us be real.
Okay, what is the real world problem?
What happens when I am not in my room? I am at a loud restaurant, the pressure is on, and someone asks me a hard question.
And you feel the panic rising.
Yes. I can feel my brain trying to run back to Hindi. How do I survive that exact moment? How do I not freeze?
The source actually gives us a brilliant trick for this. It is the art of strategic stalling.
So what does this all mean? Stalling, like delaying.
Yes. You use specific, simple English phrases to buy yourself some time to think.
Wait, you mean filler words?
Exactly. Phrases like, let me think, or what I'm trying to say is...
How can I explain this? Give me a second.
Yes, all of those.
But hold on. At school or in professional training, they always tell us never to use filler words. They say it makes you sound unprofessional.
This raises an important question. What is worse? Saying, let me think? Or standing in completely awkward silence for 10 seconds?
Oh, the silence is definitely worse. The silence is terrifying.
Exactly. These stalling phrases are a lifesaver. They act like a buffering screen for your brain.
Like we said at the start,
Right.
the loading icon.
Right. When you use an English stalling phrase, you keep your brain's operating system in English mode.
Oh, I see. If I go completely silent, my brain panics and reboots into Hindi to find an answer.
But if you say, give me a second, you are physically speaking English, you are forcing your brain to stay in the English zone.
I am keeping the engine running. Even if the car is stopped, the engine is still on.
That is a perfect analogy. And psychologically, it is brilliant for the other person, too.
Because it tells them, I heard the question, and I am working on the answer. So they do not stare at me weirdly.
Exactly. It removes the social pressure instantly.
And honestly, native speakers do this all the time.
They absolutely do. Native English speakers constantly say, like, let me see.
Right. Nobody speaks perfectly like a news reporter all the time.
No one. So when you use these stalling phrases, you actually sound incredibly natural and conversational.
It makes me sound like a fluent speaker who is just thinking instead of a student who is failing a test.
You are allowed to be human. You are allowed to think before you speak.
That is so freeing. So if someone asks me a tough question about my job, instead of freezing, I just say, oh, that is a good question. Let me think about how to explain this.
And boom, you just bought yourself 5 seconds of stress-free thinking time.
And my brain stays in English the whole time.
Yeah.
That is genius.
It is a game changer for anyone struggling with speaking.
This deep dive has been so helpful. Let us do a quick recap of the major takeaways from the text today.
Okay, let us summarize.
First, fluency begins exactly where translation ends. We have to stop running thoughts through our mother tongue.
To do that, we must prioritize consistency over perfect grammar.
Drop the big words. Use simple vocabulary. Do not be afraid to sound a bit basic at first.
Practice describing your immediate environment directly in English. Build those direct connections to the objects around you.
And finally, when you are in a real conversation and you need time, use English filler phrases. Do not fall into the silent trap.
It is all about staying in the English mindset.
Now, before we go, the source material actually provides a direct challenge for the listener.
Oh, a practice test.
Yes, and I am challenging you, the listener, right now. I'm going to ask you 4 simple questions.
And you have to answer them in your head right now without translating from Hindi or your native language.
Instantly. Just the first simple English words that come to mind. Ready?
Question 1. What are you doing right now?
Just a simple action. Keep it easy.
Question 2. What can you see around you?
Pick one thing and name its color.
Question 3. What are your plans for tomorrow?
Just one simple plan.
And question 4. What did you eat today?
Boom! Did you translate? Or did the English words come directly?
If you felt your brain jump to your native language, that is okay. It just means you know what you need to practice.
Do this rapid-fire challenge every single day. Look at things and name them.
But there is one last thing the source material hints at, and it is a really fascinating thought to leave our listeners with.
What is that?
It is the idea that language deeply influences how we see the world.
Oh, right. Because our native language has so much culture and emotion tied to it.
Yes. So when you translate, you are filtering your English through that old cultural lens.
But if you stop translating, if you build a completely new direct road for English,
You are removing that filter entirely.
wow. So the final provocative thought for you to explore is this. What new aspects of your own personality might emerge?
Will you be more confident, more outgoing?
Who will you become when you finally stop filtering your thoughts and just let your true self speak directly in English?
It is something to think about as you practice your daily routine today.
Absolutely. So start narrating your room, use your stalling phrases, and do not worry about being perfect. We will catch you on the next deep dive.